All right. Sorry for the wait, though. I finally have a starter screen. Hope y'all liked it. Yeah, shout out John. I'll have to have his information on the bottom at the end of this video. I'll have to do a proper shout out for him. Let's see here. Alright, yeah, so today we're going to be doing some of the baking and texturing for this guy. Finally getting into some some Substance Painter and so yeah, in the previous ones, I'm going to turn down my audio a tad bit. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to blast y'all. Let's see. Hopefully levels are good there. Let's see. Awesome. Yep, so I'm gonna get started. So I previously in the last one I UV'd. Let's see here. I finished UVing this guy, and at first I was actually going to do some cleanup where I would reduce this and kind of give more space so I could have like the weapon and everything, but I decided I'll keep all the props together, so and the character separate, so he'll be Talk will have a separate material, and then the vehicle and weapons will have a second material. I was going to do something that would involve like weapons and talk, but I decided against that. So yeah, I think I want to keep these current UVs and just have this be like probably a 2K map. I'm going to, however, bake and texture at 4K. Yeah. So let's see here. Alright, so one thing I want to make sure I do is I can use this smooth, and I'm pretty sure I did this last time on my last stream, but I'm just going to verify that I did that. So I'm going to go into object mode and marquee over everything, and then just do a smooth. Okay, we did. Okay, we're good to go on that. Alright, so yeah, we have this guy's looking really solid. Yeah, shout out again to Rob for making this guy a reality. This just looks so cool. So I'm gonna try my best to pull this off in 3D. Let's see. So I'm going to export this out. I may have already done this, but I'm going to just make sure. So try to go to the recording one. So if I go to my my folder system, I'm going to go over to my, let's see here. So I have my UVs, retopology, which actually needs to be flipped. There we go. Not date modified. That was a mistake. I'm gonna do by name. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I have this UV'd, and so I'm actually going to. Yes, here we go. Okay, so I already did this on the low and high, and so I'm gonna go ahead. So from on the last stream, I did the export on low and high. It's been a little bit. I took a vacation off to Florida for my 30th birthday, and then yeah, trying to get back into it now. So all right, cool. So I'm gonna go over to Substance Painter, and I have the new Substance Painter by Adobe. I have the old Substance Painter here too. So I bought the yeah, I bought the perpetual license for Substance Painter when they were bought out. they have this new PT rather than like the S symbol. Let's see here. I think I'm good on this. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go over to new. I want to texture and I want to bake in 4K. So even though the final result will probably be in 2K, I still want to do it at a higher rate. And that's just so I can actually reduce my my resolution later on. But I like to have it at a higher rate just because if I how can I explain this? Later on, when we go to like PS5, for instance, and some like software or games systems that can handle 4K everything, then I would like to do that, and so I could like bring it up at that point. So that's kind of the main reason why I do that. All right, talk. Then I have talk. New. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna go to UVs, and this is where you bring in your low. If you haven't had much Substance Painter experience before, this is how you you put your low in here. I'm gonna do okay. All right, so here we go. Here's our talk. Looking pretty solid. Let's see how this bake turns out. So we did all that pre-work in Maya. If you see the past couple tutorials, or I guess streams, you'll see kind of what I'm talking about. We went through like baking groups and like the whole shebang, and it took quite a while for us to to get through that, but hopefully it will shave off a lot of time on baking and cleaning up and everything. Let's find out. If you press 4, by the way, you can see your wireframe, which is pretty cool. Just a little tip there. The tilde? Was it? I think it was tab. Yeah, so tab reduces the UI, so you have more to work with, which is pretty cool. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try to do a bake. So I'm going to go over to texture set settings, and let's go down, scroll down to bake mesh maps. If you had never used Substance Painter, it is kind of weird to get used to at first. I'm going to go up to 4K, because it doesn't actually do what the like what you like planned it to be at first, but yeah. I'll go to 4K. All right, and then before you bake it, of course, you need to put in your high poly. So I'm going to go to here and then go to high. All right, and so first thing is I'm going to I'm going to try to bake it, but I need to. So like at first you have the suffix. The mesh suffix, it actually does matter when you're baking. So I'm going to go down to back down to my Maya. And as you can see here, all of my naming convention have like a capital L, and that surprisingly does matter, which is cool and bad, kind of annoying at the same time. Just to make sure it's matching, so I need to actually go into these and make these uppercase. To save time, actually, you might want to do lowercase all the time, so they don't have to change that at all. They have updated this where there's the height, bent normals, and opacity now. That is rather new, and I haven't played around with that fully yet, so I don't really want to talk about that since I don't fully grasp that yet. So the frontal and the max frontal and max rear distance is how far away from the low and high poly you can bake, and I think I'm pretty dang close, so I'm gonna just try it at 0.01 and 0.01 and see how it goes. But if I see some baking errors, then sometimes you want to play with that to like 0.02 and 0.02, and just test out different baking methods. One easy way to test the bake real quick is go to like a lower resolution, and don't worry, it's not stuck at this resolution. You go to like 1K and do a test bake. So it will not look very good. It should have a lot of artifacting. Didn't look like it did anything here. Oh, there we go. It just took a second. Sweet. Now that's looking pretty dang good. So obviously it's choppy, and there's some really bad points here, but that's only because I had a low resolution. And so this is a good way to test to make sure that everything is right on the baking groups. It's actually a pretty good bake for this low resolution. Like, in fact, at a distance, this actually is not a bad bake. It just looks crazy from close up, which this is not what I want to look. I don't want to see this ever on the face. This much artifacting. So I'm actually going to try again. See how well that turned out. There is some errors right here. That's clipping into the collar, and there's a lot of errors here. So we're gonna go with how to clean up a lot of these errors today. It's gonna be something that I want to go over. And I know I keep on tutorializing this. I'm a professor and teacher, so I kind of end up tutorializing things, but ultimately I just want to make this game. So let me know if anyone had any questions. I'm gonna try a higher resolution. So let's go back to your bake settings, and let's do 4K this time. Or actually, I'm gonna do 1K, but I'm gonna adjust my frontal and see if there's less baking errors when I add frontal. So I showed you through some of the baking errors before. Let's see if that continues in this time. All right, so now there's more baking errors, like right here in the hair. Yeah, we have quite a few issues here. There's always going to be issues between the fingers. That's got like a very core problem. So let's go for another bake. This time let's do 2K, and then this time I'm going to do rear distance speed up. Let's see what that looks like. It'll naturally should look better because it's a higher resolution, but we'll see if it has as much baking errors. Shouldn't. Alright, yeah, so that's better, but yeah, you can still see that there's a lot of errors here, and it's kind of causing some issues here, but overall this is looking a lot better. Yeah, see, this kind of thing can't be helped too much, but yeah, we can still up the resolution, which we will, and then we can also blur normals. This is a big problem area on the mouth. And I think that's because I don't have, let me check. I think it's because I don't have it hardened right there. I don't. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. So I'm actually going to harden this right here, this edge, and fix that up because that looks pretty rough. So I'm going to go over here to soften, and then I'm going to harden just that edge. And that way it's not having these really goofy looking baking error issues. Like this looks really bad. So yeah, let's go back to this. So actually I can drag and drop a new mesh, which is dope. I'll show you how this do. So first off, I'm going to redo this and make sure everything is smooth first, and then I'm going to redo this section and go to edge mode. Then I'm going to reharden this edge. There we go. Alright, cool. So now I'm going to go ahead and export here. There we go. Export, and not in my retopology, into my UVs. Let's go to UVs. There we go. And this is my new low. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna just drag and drop this file. Folder open, Sesame. There we go. So I'm just gonna drag and drop this new talk low, and it should give me a prompt. There we go. All right. Yes. All right. So now that it has this hardened edge, hopefully it will bake better the next time. Let's check it. I'm gonna go to 4K now. So I'm pretty confident in this bake, and I'm just gonna keep it at 1:1 at the moment. 4K. If you want to adjust your raise, I suggest you can bring it all the way up on the secondary raise. That will take longer to bake, so it's good to do a test bake before you do like heavier raise. Curvature raise, you can do something similar. Position's good. All axes. All right, cool. Yo, what up, Dustin? Just making character stuff at the moment. Actually, I'm gonna cancel that. Skirt. Let's bring this back a little bit. Oh, actually, it's kind of hard to see over here. I'm gonna change that. That's looking better. So Dustin, this is our talk character. So this is one of my, this is our 4th racer actually for Chaos Kart. So on the screen to the top left, you can see Malapoi fighting. I think he's fighting, yeah, our newest racer. And yeah, this is, oh, thank you so much. Yeah, we are getting somewhere. Totally. I appreciate that. Hey, thank you. Yeah, I just turned 30. The big 3-0. I'm told I'm supposed to feel like I'm older, and I don't feel like I've changed at all, and that's why I'm still making games. I will never age out of making games. We appreciate that. Yeah. 30 is the new 20, I'm told. That's what I tell myself anyway. Here we go. All right. Upping my raise. Let's try this out. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Pray it doesn't crash. Crash. Maybe. Alright, so oh, that's much better. It still has some issues, but it is way cleaner. And a lot of these errors I can fix in Photoshop, actually. When's your game launching? You're hoping to launch? That's cool. Thank you. So this game I have no idea on launch. To be honest, like, it's been in works for a while, and it's more about like time and resources, like how much time can I put toward the game, and my contractors and peeps and everything. So I'm really hoping that I have a really good prototype to show off and play by the end of this year, but we will see. Yeah, pretty much people that are watching, I'm and like in the future and everything, I'm gonna keep on streaming, and as I get closer to a playable build and more playable builds for like multiplayer, then I'll go ahead and like send people keys, be like, hey, play the game, and we'll play test together and stuff. So but yeah, I'm hoping by the end of this year I'll have something more playable. Yeah. Hey, what up? Oh man. Sweet. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely do some cleaning up on this. It's looking like all these little errors right here are bothersome. We can fix a lot of this stuff. You know what? I did something wrong. I know it's wrong. I completely forgot to check that box, which is annoying. All right, so to buy mesh name, if you do buy mesh name, that completely negated all the work I did. So buy mesh name, do that. There we go. This should actually prove to be way more successful of a bake. But yeah, I'm hoping to have this guy rigged and animated, hopefully in the next like month or so, and have him in game. He's gonna be our first like marksman character that'll like can do like longer shots. He has like build up electricity shots and everything. Super excited about this character to be in game. Okay, there's still some weird shading errors happening up here, but overall that cleaned up a lot of these errors. Like there's still some stuff in the mouth here. There's still weird shading problems here. But overall, yeah, some shading. Mostly ambient occlusion issues. But yeah, that cleaned up a lot of these errors that were happening like right here, where like this was affecting this color. Yeah, this is much better of a bake. So yeah, definitely do baking groups. Definitely do baking groups. But yeah, so I definitely want to clean up these errors that are happening still, because yeah, we can definitely do some of that in Photoshop. So for some silly reason, the I don't know, Substance Painter, the new Substance Painter by Adobe, decided to keep material on, which is a big mistake, because a lot of people don't, like what I've been teaching and everything, they don't know right away like why they can't find their bakes and stuff. Like this right here, it even shows nothing. It's really silly. But actually, if you just press this, then it populates, and it's really dumb that they did that, where like as soon as you turn it on, it doesn't automatically just have everything available. Hey, what up? I got the whole family over here. Yeah, totally. Happy to help. Um, so I'm actually going to export these bakes and change them up in Photoshop. So we have our normal map and we have our ambient occlusion maps, and we can go ahead and export those out directly, which is dope. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Export resource, and I'm gonna bring this into our baking folder. So right here. Don't worry about the name conventions just yet. That's not a problem. Yeah, I got the whole fam. Appreciate the support, y'all. Alright. So yeah, this looks phenomenal. I love the way this character turned out. Like, look at this. It's gonna look so fun in game. Like through, I don't know. Yeah. Throw that in the engine. I just really hope I can pull it off. Like, I feel like I'm pretty dang close. Like there might be some things that aren't like spot on, but I feel like this model was pretty dang close to the concept. Yeah. All right. So now I'm gonna bring Photoshop up. So make sure if you're doing this, have a good CPU, because otherwise your computer's gonna crash, because I have like Photoshop and Substance Painter and Maya. I turn off ZBrush because you know, the chug, and have OBS streaming and everything. So if this is doing multi like any of this stuff, yeah, this is just too much for a typical CPU. Let's just say that. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, this is a little plug for my my day job game. Check this out. If it'll let me, I might get pinged for this. Let's see if it YouTube will let me or I'll get in trouble. All right, cool. I'm gonna keep the audio off. Check this out. Skirt, skirt, bam. All right, so yeah, we've been working on this mixed reality game where you legit like put in doors and yeah, it's like a wave-based zombie game, but it's like for the Quest 2. Anyway, I just wanted to show this because we just put it out on the Quest store, and I'm super stoked about it. And we're also updating it now. We have the Zomburger bomb. That's been a really fun one to make. Yeah. We had a small team working on this, and like it's been a ton of fun to build. We actually just boothed at PAX. We'll be boothing at Tokyo Game Show in like a week. Super stoked to go to Tokyo. So. Heck yeah. I've never been to Japan, but I am excited to go to Japan for sure. So yeah, I made basically every zombie on this game. Alright, I'm gonna get out of here before I get in trouble. I might have to relinquish a copyright strike on that one. Alright, but yeah, luckily I know the people that own the... Alright, so I'm gonna bring in my bakes back to it. One good way to do this is to, if you right click on your most recent stuff and then go to open file location, that helps a lot. So I'm going to go to new, and then I'm going to go to baking, and then right here we have our 2 maps. Always bring in your normal map first if you're doing this. So I have my normal map and I have my ambient occlusion map. And this probably part is not going to be the most fun, well, as fun to watch as like the 3D stuff, but it is very important. I'm going to bring in my ambient occlusion. There we go. Okay. So now I need to figure out where the issues are happening. So I'm actually going to try to split screen this. Doop doop. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so I actually want to do this. Let's move this to the side. We got a lot going on here. Alright, cool. So, where do we have issues? We have issues on here. Right, we have issues happening. Let's see. So on the belt, we have issues. And so I need to just start plugging away and getting these cleaned up. So here we go. Let me go ahead and go to my layers, normals. And I'm gonna do normals first. I think the normals is a little more important right away, because yeah, a lot of the shading information is not a huge deal right away, and I can just start building stuff. But these kind of issues are a big deal. Like, you don't want this character to like have expressions and look really goofy. Yeah, it's not where I'm at. Let's see. You know, one thing that I might need to do real quick. I think I need to make a mouth bag real fast. Dang it. Okay, that's fine. We'll fix that. I swear I made teeth, and I don't think I see them at all. So let's do that real quick. If you've never made teeth in Maya, this is my little method. Oh, not with a block. Not the block. I'm gonna do it with a Here, I'm gonna have this on the side now. That's way too much. No, too much UI. Let me cinch this over here. There we go. A little bit. All right, cool. So yeah, the way I make teeth in Maya is like this. I will show you. We bring out the cylinder. Now we get a cylinder head character. Perfect. Ship it. Alright, now I'm going to basically go to top view real quick and do F. This is the very fast way to make teeth in Maya, but it's actually extremely effective in Cartoony. So I'm deleting all of the middles and back side of the cylinder like this. And we're gonna get some Simpsons style teeth in this. Up in here. Heck yeah. So I've been making some shorts. I'm not sure if y'all seen my shorts, but I'm trying to make the shorts kind of funny. I just figured out that I could make shorts thanks to my niece. She's like, you can do shorts without, without being a big channel. I'm like, oh, I thought I had to have like 1 billion subscribers to like, to be able to make shorts. And I was wrong. Thank you. Shout out Miriam. All right, so I'm just gonna do an extrude. So I'm gonna do a mesh. Well, actually not. I'll do that. I can just do this. Extrude. There we go. So yeah, this is a very basic way to make teeth, but it's awesome. Super effective. All right, so basically just make some dentures. That's what we're going for. We got some solid dentures. All right. And then we will do. And there we go. I'm going to actually, for this right here, I'm gonna turn off symmetry because symmetry is not our friend right now. I'm gonna do shrink in. And then here, I'm gonna bring it down. Out. Check that out. All right, so we got our dentures here. Perfect. Man, I swore I made teeth. It's like the last thing you think about because they're all hidden behind the mouth bag, but you shouldn't forget teeth. Do I have high poly teeth? Let me hide this real quick and see if I have high poly teeth because I swear I made teeth. Right? Here, hold on. That's way too much going on. Okay, my high poly actually, never mind. My high poly is not going to help me because it's closed up. When you bake it, you don't need the baked inside of mouth thing, so don't worry about that. All right, I guess I didn't. Off we go. Luckily, teeth, unless you want to add like specific like indented information, you don't need to have anything specific for teeth. Like I'll literally just make it a beveled version on the high poly, and it'll be totally fine. It'll work. So what the game plan is to bring it in. I'm gonna go F. Let's make it a little smaller. I know it can be sometimes hard to follow with this kind of thing because it's inside a mesh, but this is pretty important to do. So I'm actually going to, so people can see the back of them a little bit more, I'm going to bring the back side down a little bit so you can see that little bevel of the teeth, not that far. Like that. All right, and then this can actually go wider. Okay. Perfect. All right, so I can make a very basic tongue as well, but here, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this. And all I can do with this duplication is I can just rotate to make that bottom row of teeth. Check this out. If I hold J, I can actually do snap rotating. Woo. Oh, almost perfect. Let's try that again. Skirt. There we go. Yeah, teeth can be. For sure. Teeth can be. I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So let's see. Okay, so teeth are a little smaller. Unless you want your character to have underbite, you want to have it a little bit further back from. So here we go. I'll bring the teeth out so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Skirt, like that. Yeah. So, and then also I might have this like pointed up a little bit more like this. Yeah. So nice large teeth basically. There's no need for realism here, not in this house. And then I'm gonna go to this top one. There we go. That should work. All right, you make sure they're separated from each other, because if they're touching each other, they're gonna have really weird problems, making errors, and your teeth aren't glued together. So don't do that. Tongue is mad easy. Check this out. Oh, we got a ball head now. Perfect. All right, so first off, I'm gonna go ahead and reduce this. This is too much, too many polygons. Let's do maybe 10. No, not that. 12. 12's fine. All right, and then I'll do 10 here, and check this out. I'll go to the side view. Skirt. Delete. So I just deleted so basically it's like almost like an eye, and then I'm shrinking it down like that. So this is just from a sphere, and just, use primitives to your advantage. This is the basically end of the tongue, and if I go here, I can do an extrude, and I'll have like this like weird tongue shape. Now from here, I'm gonna go ahead and do a cut. Bam. All right, I'm gonna do one more cut right around there, and then if I grab this edge and do B, I can do a soft select, rotate, bring it down. That easy. It's that easy, folks. All right, so now I'm gonna bring it down, rotate it with J. Do. One more. Doop. There we go. Perfectiano. Okay, actually, I don't want to do it that far. I want to do it like that. That's what I want. And then bring the tongue in. So I'm actually going to just set it up before I bring it into the mouth, because when you're in the mouth, it gets difficult. That's fine. I think that's a fine amount. I want to do a little bit of stylization. So what I'm saying about that is basically grab each side and then soft select. Let's do a little bit of tapering effect. So basically, whenever you stylize stuff, you just think about how the player would see it. So I'm gonna go ahead and press B, bring this up. There we go. All right, and then so yeah, basically if I'm looking at this straight on, then I want to be able to see more of the tongue as we go along. And so yeah, I do like everything has like a gradation or a slope, right? Like I don't want to see any like 90-degree hard angles for stylized. That's something that I don't do. And if there has to be a 90-degree-ish thing, then it's good to have like a soft bevel on the edge, so there's not actually a hard edge kind of thing. Yeah, I guess hopefully that helps. All right, so let's go ahead and make the higher poly version of this. So I'm gonna do this as tongue underscore low. This would be teeth 1 underscore low, and this is teeth 2 underscore low. This is like the easiest way to make teeth. but it actually is legit. So, all right, cool. Now that I have that, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate all of these. I'm gonna go ahead and save before I crash and burn. All right, I'm gonna delete history and duplicate. Cool. Now these duplications, I'm gonna go ahead and hide the originals. I'm literally just doing this. Shift, right click, hold, smooth. And I can do, I'll do the power 2. And check this out. When I turn off the, I turn off the grid, you can see that it's like nice and smooth now. If I wanted to, there we go. I could make it less, and then I can do this, right? Where like the whole like tongue effect, where maybe like right here, ish. Gonna do like a soft select sort of, like that, and then I can just bring this down a little bit, just a tad. Yeah, just for that little effect like that. Incidentures. Yeah, so the way we would rig it is the upper teeth would stay like it's like in reality, right? The upper teeth stay of the top, and the lower teeth move with the jaw. So you'd have a joint here on the jaw area, and that joint, yeah, that joint basically affects everything here. And the tongue usually is a separate bone. The tongue can like maybe like waggle by itself kind of thing if it needs to. But sometimes the tongue is actually attached to the lower jaw and it'll just move with it. Like I'm not going to have actual like talking in the game, or there's talking in the game, like the voice actors and actresses. However, they're not going to reflect that in their mouth movement. Literally the mouths are just for expressions in Chaos Guard. So. All right, this could be a problem. So if I shift right click hold here and smooth, then it loses some of its form. So first off, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give this a cut right here. This usually helps quite a bit, and a cut on both of these sides. And so now when I smooth, then it'll keep a lot of its shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and right click smooth like this. That looks a lot better. Check out that bevel. Super clean. And so if you wanted to add like, you know, I'm not going to do this, but if you wanted to do this, then you can. If you add like these cuts in here, like the teeth and everything, you could do like this. I'm going to do that front one too. There we go. And like maybe every third for stylized like that. Yeah, something like that. You could do something like that if you wanted to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to have just really clean, smooth teeth. All right, I'm going to do the same thing on here. So I'm going to multi-cut the cap, and then multi-cut the side edges. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to go to smooth. Perfect. All right, that is the easy teeth and tongue thing, I guess. I'm gonna change this tongue to double. Ooh, it doesn't like that. I'm gonna undo that. Never mind. It did not have fun with that, so that's fine. That's okay. All right, so now that these are taken care of, I can change this to the proper naming convention. So I'm gonna turn this into teeth. This is teeth 1, and I'm going to change this to high, right? And so we can bake this, and of course I need to actually add some UV space for it, so I need to bring this into texture map and give it a little bit of resolution. Luckily I don't need a whole lot of resolution because they're so simple of objects, which is good because I don't have a lot of space. And remember, the high poly does not need UVs, so that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and hide this high poly real quick, bring in this, and I swear we're going to get back to texturing. Yeah, we'll get back to this guy. Just a minute. I just got to get this finished up. Sometimes actually with texturing the like texturing in the face and stuff, it actually can be cool to bring the tongue and the teeth above the character, so that you're not having to like go inside the mouth and try to like figure out the camera situation inside the mouth like this. Like it's pretty awkward. So actually sometimes it can be better to texture it up here. It's just something I learned over time. So I might just want to bring this up here. I'm gonna do that actually right now. So I'm gonna bring the high and the low together. So I'm gonna marquee everything and then go ahead and pop this up and above it. You don't want it to be too close to the head, because then when it bakes the ambient occlusion, it'll actually bake shadow information from the teeth onto the head and it looks really dumb. So don't do that. So yeah, this is substantial enough distance from the head. And again, keep the teeth a little bit of distance from each other. That'll help. And then we'll you know, of course, when we get to the final product, we'll put it in back in the mouth and everything. So this is just for baking stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and hide the high. We know that the high and low are side by side on each other. I think my music is being really quiet. Let's get this party moving again. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and go to my UV editing and grab everything, marquee everything. All right, so obviously there's some issues, and that's because of the teeth. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and grab these only, and then go to my UVs and go to camera based. Always do camera based in my opinion. So I'm gonna bring these up and skinny them up. So there we go. The teeth can bake flatly, but it doesn't look the best. The tongue, you can either do the seam in the very bottom like this, which is the best way in my opinion, or you can do it on the side like this, and that'll just kind of like cut in the bottom. But yeah, I think I like this bottom cut, because nothing is seen here. You can't see the seam on most angles unless it's like flapping the tongue, which will never really do. So let's go ahead and do a cut. All right, shell, bring this over here, and then unfold. Perfecto. All right, cool. And press F. And for teeth, I can just go ahead and cut these edges. These like inner back edges, and let's see how that unfolds. See how cleanly that unfolds. It's not bad. Unfold. But because it's such a squared object, I can go ahead and do these edges too, and we'll see how that looks. Go ahead and grab these. Unfold. Cool. That looks pretty dang clean. All right, cool. All right, let's see how much space we actually have for this stuff. I think my music is a little bit loud now. Oh, by the way, check this out. I got my new animated GIF stuff for the channel, and I made a really funny be right back one. Check this out. Back to it. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and marquee everything, and let's see what kind of space we have. We don't really have a lot of space, to be honest. It is pretty packed in here. So I'm gonna make this tongue be like this corner. We really just, yeah, we don't have much space at all. But I'm trying my best to just give it something. One thing we could really do that I can think of would be deleting some of the head polygons, but I don't want to do that because of shading, possible shading errors. if you have a hollow area that's not watertight, then sometimes the lighting in a game engine can be a bit goofy. And go, so if I had like a hole right here where the hair are, like even though the hair is covering it, if any kind of light pierces through the top here, you might have like weird lighting errors in like the jaw and like mouth area. You don't want that. All right, cool. So I added actual like some area for the tongue. I can't believe I forgot to add teeth. All right, and then I'm gonna just do the same thing. I'm gonna just find space somewhere for these teeth. This might be enough space. Let me try to make this decent size. There we go. And it's a full hair chunk, so that's a good amount of space for the teeth. I'm actually gonna make this a little smaller and just fit them both down here. And we'll get right back over to the texturing in just a second. I just, for those who just jumped in, I'm just like adding the teeth and tongue because I completely spaced on that. Nothing major, you know, just like it's something you don't really think about sometimes because it's like hiding in the mouth zone and like it's usually hidden. And so I'm like, I probably have that, I probably made that, but I totally didn't, and so now I'm fixing that. And trying to just manage my UV shell space. So I'm actually going to do, if you hold J when you're rotating, it'll snap 15 degrees. There we go, it's nice and clean. Groovin'. I'm also looking forward to having a few guests on the channel here soon. I'm super stoked about that. We'll have a few guests from Twitter, some of my my followers on Twitter and everything from Baka Bros. We'll have some more voice actors hopping in, so that'll be exciting. Yeah, I'm excited to have some more people on the channel and chatting. So I'll probably make those not streams. I'll probably make those individual videos and then just keep on streaming my like game development, but just have that as side videos. All right, so now I need to make sure I do run that smooth tool through it. There we go. All right, now to keep things clean like we have been doing, you want to have good naming convention. You want to have good grouping and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and middle mouse drag this up here. All right, and for some reason it dropped here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this below. There we go. All right, cool. And we have the equivalent right here, the high polys. We'll go ahead and drag that up to here. Perfecto. All right, cool. So now I just need to re-export this because it's, you know, it didn't have this information before. So I'm gonna go ahead and, well, first off, I need to make this the proper material because these are newly added meshes. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to material, so m_talk, material talk. I also need to check real quick on my UV set editor just in case. All right, they're all map 1, good. Because if this was not map 1 compared to other ones, it just wouldn't work. Looks good. All right, and then I just use the smoothing thing, so I'm gonna go ahead and export selection. All right, this will be my new low poly, and I do have animation checked. I'm gonna turn off animation because it'll basically make a bigger file for no reason. Smooth mesh references, that's fine. All right, so my new low poly. So I'm gonna go ahead and just Control H the group, Control H the high. Marky, grab all this, and then re-export this. Export selection. Talk high. Let me take a second because it's a lot of polygons. That's fine. Oh, that was faster than I thought. Nice. pretty dang swift. I'm gonna go ahead and hide this now. Bring out my low poly for future tweaking if need be. Cool. So yeah, this method is called exploding your mesh. Before you bake something, if you have it separate from the rest of the stuff, like up here, it's called exploding. And initially when you baked, you had to explode everything, but because I have solid naming convention over here, I didn't have to explode everything else. If you want to avoid all baking errors, usually exploding works pretty well, but this grouping method actually has been really solid. So, all right, let me get to baking again. All right, so as I showed y'all before, but for the newcomers, I'll show y'all again. I can actually drag and drop an edited mesh, my low, and here, and it'll just work. It'll just populate. So I just press OK. And so it'll populate the best it can, and then this is grayed out because it didn't get baked. So it just thinks it's all gray, all ambient occlusion. But we'll rebake the high poly. Let me make this big. Skirt. Skirt again. There we go. All right, so I need to make sure, let's see here. Oh yeah, it's tabbed, there we go. All right. Bake mesh maps. So if I go into this baking area, for people coming in and everything, make sure you do bake by mesh name, and then uppercase your low and H if you had that name convention like I did. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add my new high with the teeth and tongue stuff, and bake. See how it looks. Fingers crossed that it doesn't crash and burn on me. It definitely could. Because there's a lot of CPU usage. Woo! It's chugging. Okay. Yeah, perfect. All right, it finished up. Let's see how the new teeth and tongue look. So it even added that little gap we had there on the high poly tongue. That's awesome. Teeth look really good. They kind of kept that little bevel that I added on the high poly, but as you can see, is very low. Turned out really good. All right, and because the way I did it, way up here, it didn't affect the top of here. So if I had it like teeth and tongue lower, then it may have had issues with adding a shadow on top of the hair. So we do not want that. That looks really goofy. All right, let's see here. Ba-dum-ba, ba-dum-ba. All right, cool. Let's get to it. All right, so this baking turned out really, really good. Look at this. That's awesome. Look how low this is, which is ridiculous. It looks so funny that something low at this low, you can see the wireframe actually baked this high poly stuff. It looks super solid. So it only breaks illusion when you're like super close and you can see a little bit of the pixelation here. But honestly, from the point of view that you'll be playing the game, you'll never even be this close. Like if you're doing like the if you're doing like the dancing thing, or like you're like, yeah, I won, then you're never going to be even this close. You're going to be probably here. Yeah, this range, this looks fantastic for a bake. Looks like we have an issue here. So this was not hardened. This is something to look into and look at for our low poly is issues like this, and that can be adjusted with hardening certain edges. So like this bottom edge could be hardened, and then this edge might not be hardened right here. So alternatively, we can change the bake a little bit. So if I go to bake here, I'm gonna try 2 on my rear distance, and let's go for another bake. Not really a difference here that I can see. So I'm actually going to bring it back. Yeah, I feel like I trust the general settings better here. So I'm gonna try just once on the I'm gonna do 2 here on the frontal distance instead and see if that makes a difference. I just want to reduce the amount of baking errors so that I have less cleanup to do. It just helps with some time. Alright, let's see if it helped with anything. Okay, that was pretty much the same. There's actually more baking errors now on the mouth. So that was hopefully another the better play. So let's do it one more time and fix these errors. So I'm gonna go back to the generic one here, or I'm gonna try actually 0.005 for this one and see if that does anything. That might tighten up some of those errors. Well, let's find out. Yeah, not really. So I guess 1 is the play. But yeah, see all that kind of like the rough, how like rough some of this looks like. It has kind of yeah, like it's a little bit pixely. One thing I forgot to do was go back to my ambient occlusion. Okay, that's fine. Let's see my curvature. I'm not my raise and my curvature as well. Position's fine. Thickness. Yeah, I'll just crank all the rays up. Go ahead and bake again. That just gives me like more resolution and more smoothness on stuff, and it looks better. All right, yeah, we definitely have a lot of work to do on this mouth. It's struggling. The teeth are still looking pretty good. The tongue looks pretty good. I don't think I see any errors here. That's great. Yeah. Thanks for watching too. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been fun learning all this stuff throughout the years, and now that I'm like making cool stuff and everything, I love to just share what I learned. These are totally Kingdom Hearts boots over here. Totally got the Kingdom Hearts vibes. Alright, so actually I think what I'm going to do real quick, before I start doing any kind of like adjusting and like cleanup stuff, I'm going to actually start just placing the base colors, because I really want to just have the base colors in, and then I can work on the bake cleanup probably in the next stream. Just because the base colors aren't really affected by that. So I'm going to go ahead and start making my my folders accordingly. So I'm going to go ahead and make first folder. I'm gonna call this hair. All right, and then in my hair folder, I'm gonna do my first fill, and this is gonna be my base. So everything needs a base, and I am literally just going to have this be a flat, no roughness, no metallic, no nothing, just the base color. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab what's so cool about Substance Painter. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab this from my reference. Whatever my base color is, right around there-ish, maybe a little bit more. There, that was pretty good. So I'm gonna grab that, and obviously I don't want the hair color to be on the whole body. That looks really silly. So what I can do is go and right click on the folder actually, and add a black mask, add a paint, and make sure that your unless everything on your character is symmetric, turn off your symmetry for this one. I'm gonna go ahead and add a paint, and now whatever I touch with like my brush will be that color, right? And I only want to do the hair. But to speed things up, I'm actually going to press 4. So 4, if you remember, is how I see like this. You can see the wireframe, but it actually has a function. When I press 4, I can go to this mode right here, polygon fill, but I actually want to use mesh fill. Because I had the hair separate from the scalp, as their own meshes, I can easily do this, and I fill these hair groups. So if I click on this, it completely filled this hair chunk, which is saves a lot of time, which is awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start marking these hair chunks until I don't have any more hair chunks. So if I was just drawing on it, then it'd take a lot longer. So I'm just double clicking these hair chunks or marking. If it doesn't work, it's probably because that side, like this, for instance, right here, it's not working, and that's just because it is mirrored over from this one. So this is the original that's on the UVs, and then this mirrored over hair is not able to be drawn on because it's like it doesn't really exist. It's like a duplication. See, if I click on this one, it actually populates the other side because of that. This one exists, this one exists, this one exists. Those look good. And then now I can do that on the eyebrows. Usually eyebrows are a little bit darker than the hair. This one to consider is if you want it to be slightly more realistic, you can have like a slightly darker shade on the eyebrows. But for right now, totally fine. Alright, and this dark area is happening because it's actually duplicating the ambient occlusion from this side, and this like big chunk is hitting it right here. So actually I can delete some of the ambient occlusion on the on Photoshop, and that will go away. So that's an easy fix. All right, so let's do I'll do goggles, or let's see here. I'll do clothes next. So let's do. I'm gonna just duplicate this. So duplicate layers, and then I'm gonna hold clothes. And even though it's duplicated it just makes it a little bit faster. just change the color. So I'm gonna change my color, my base layer. So I'm gonna open this folder up, change this color over to, at least for right now, just this base color here-ish. There we go. And I'm going to undo this. I'm going to change my music. My music is being a little lame. Alright, so I'm going to actually turn this to black and then marquee all this off. And that clears my mask, basically. So all this mask that was happening here, and so before it was actually overwriting my last layer because it was the same mask. Now I can create a new mask by pressing X and going to white. And then I can go... I'm just going to like marquee all of my clothing. One issue with this is that some of my clothing is actually part of the skin mesh. So that we'll need to figure that out, but that's fine. So I just marquee this, and it, because it's the same mesh as the skin over here, yeah, it's just having some issues with that. So I can show you how to fix that. Turn it down a little bit. That is a little too hype for me right now. There we go. Alright, so let's go ahead and marquee this. Grab this. So I guess clothing, I can have gear. So I have like clothing that would just be specifically like cloth clothing. So what I need to do is I need to go on polygon fill and go press X again. And then I need to go ahead and just drag over these. And so at this point I actually do want to have symmetry on because it'll do both arms at the same time. So I'm like unmasking these areas for the scan. So like right here. And I'll probably actually go back on this mesh and add another edge loop right here. I don't think that looks that great when it's yeah, when it's like that long of a polygon. I was trying to have something simple first, but I think that I need to add some more stuff for sure. Alright, yeah, so I'm basically just making this group here. Okay. Unmasking these zones. Here we go. Is that it? Sweet. We're getting there. It's a little bit early. We'll get there. Alright, so now I'm going to just marquee this entire bit right here as much as I can. It's not going to touching the cloth. I don't want to undo the cloth over here. Alright, I'm going to marquee this. That actually might have gone to the cloth, so I'm going to do that and just do it at this angle. Alright, if you start having this kind of issue where you're like running into other objects, just work around as much as you can, and then you might have to do some stuff on the UVs. Okay, I don't want that to happen. So, X, undo that. Alright, so here's a good way to do this, is I can scroll into my UVs here, the super preview UVs, and let's check this out. So I can just touch these, And make sure after you do this that it didn't accidentally affect your cloth, because that totally happens sometimes. It affects the cloth and stuff like this. Alright, we're having some weird errors here. So I think what might benefit is to harden some more edges. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and save real quick before it crashes and burns. I'm gonna bring this my texturing, and I'm gonna call this SP for Substance Painter _ talk. That's fine. That's how I do a lot of my simple name convention. Just like what is the abbreviation for the software and then the character involved, whatever. And you can make it more complicated, but it's not. No need. Alright. So what do we got? We have the skin here for his legs. What was I doing before? Oh yeah. So this actually baked pretty dang well down here. It's got these nice bevels from ZBrush, but then you have areas. Whoops, the glove. Then you have areas like up here where you have like this crap happening and this crap happening. And sometimes that can be fixed by going into Maya and then just like sharpening an edge. Like this area could be sharpened. This area should be sharpened because of this. This UV island is right there, but it may not have been. Also, you see this general fuzziness? It's pretty... Yeah, here's a good option. Yeah, see how it's kind of like you have this kind of stuff happening? You can totally fix that by... I'll show you, actually. If you go in the normals, a lot of it's here. And you can literally just, like, blur some of this. So if I go, I'm going to do a general blur. So if I go to filter, blur, let me make sure that I can edit this actually. Make sure it's a smart object first. And then filter, blur, blur. That'll do some, but I'm actually can, whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do. I can go into here. If I hold this, then I can do blur tool. I can just literally blur this hair. Oops, I didn't do the mask. Blur. Make this pretty large, like this large, and then just literally just hard blur it with my mouse. These hair pieces, because there's, I mean, especially for like these really stylized characters, you don't need a whole lot of micro details. I'm not gonna be adding like a bunch of pores and everything in these kind of things. But anyway, that's how you fix that. I'm gonna get back to the texture. You know, one thing I forgot actually was I needed to make these fingerless gloves. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna worry about that yet. I might fix that next stream and just go back on the high poly. But we're far enough along at the moment. I don't want to like just go back just yet. He turned down audio just a tad bit. Alright, yeah. I'm gonna grab these legs, make these. There we go. And then like this kind of error is pretty normal, where like the socks head actually go to the full trim right here. And we can actually fix that in Photoshop too, but I'm not gonna worry about it just yet. Right now I'm just going to put on these colors. Or yeah, these base colors. And all these errors we can fix in the next one, and like the fingerless gloves as well. Alright, let's do a skin. So I'm actually going to turn this base to greenish so that it separates itself from the rest. Like, there we go. Oh, not there. So just a simple green for right now. Actually, this is the most neutral green area, like right in here, I think. That looks pretty cool. Okay, there we go. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this. Duplicate layers and call skin. Alright, go back to your paint layer, and I'm gonna just go ahead and cut all this off. Whoops. Alright, and so skin. Let me make this. All right. I'm actually going to bring this below the clothing layer, so I don't have to like worry about it again. Let's see. Could you give him a wig so he can... A wig? So... That'd be pretty funny. Maybe not for this character, but maybe for like a... perhaps for a future character. We have like some royalty... I have like a royalty character planned. So maybe on her it could be funny. Some kind of judicial character, maybe. Yeah, we could make something fun like that happen. Like a wig or like, yeah, something like a Victorian style character, sort of. That might fit that bill a little bit better. But yeah, that'd be really funny. Right now with Malboy, when he boosts, his hat kind of pops off. Actually, that's a kind of a similar thing that we had going. Alright, so I'll do gear next, so I'll do like clothing, that kind of stuff. Let's see, so I'll do... I'm gonna duplicate the skin, and we're gonna call this like... Actually, alright, so for gear, press X, you know, I'm gonna just unmask all this stuff. Press X again, and then I should be able to start drawing on it. There we go. Alright, so obviously gear's not gonna be skin color. Let's go ahead and make this like I'll get this dark color for right now. Just for now. And I'm gonna put this above clothes as well. So let's go ahead and start figuring out what is our gear. And I'm gonna turn off symmetry for right now. So we got here gear, this gear. Oh man, that looks really bad with skin color on here. Let's go ahead and make it like this dark color. Alright, cool. That was better. So I'm gonna go back to here he is. This is not actually coloring it. This is just like, so it has a color attached to this layer thing, but I'm not actually like painting anything necessarily. Like I can totally add more colors and stuff. Like on this is not like set. This is just like, this is the masked area that I want to affect. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this. Put these goggles in there. Oh, that's the mirrored one, so it's not allowing me to touch it. Oops, not the skin. Oops. Didn't mean to grab this here. That's kind of cool though, but no. Alright, let's see here. I think that these fit in this category, these sections on the gloves. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna go to faces. Let's see if I can just grab a couple of these like this. Save a little bit of time. Go ahead and grab my pin on this one. Make sure it looks a little bit more clean. Alright, I'll definitely need to be cleaning this up. This area is looking too stretched. Yeah, that's way too stretched. That's on a major area too. I need to figure out what the... So, that is over here. Let's see what that is on UVs. Yeah, there's not a whole lot I can do about that, unfortunately. It's just like, it's a bit tight where the UVs currently are. Yeah. Look at this. Alright, so I'm gonna do symmetry and I'm gonna just paint this on a little bit. pretty dang good. Whoops, that's not what I'm looking for. Alright, so yeah, these are some other errors we'll have to fix. Just neural maps being a little bit wiggly. It looks good from a distance, but yeah, definitely struggles a little bit to keep its illusion. Here we go. Yeah, some of these errors are pretty minor, but they kind of show up a little bit as you're going along. Whoopsie daisies. That went through a lot. Let's see. Probably because I accidentally marqueed a little bit. Go ahead and fix that. Alright, so I need to do it on the strap here too. So I'm going to turn off symmetry and start just tapping these. It's a cool way to do it too, where you can just like do it from the UVs. Alright, now I'm going to go to the back. So the back UVs are up here. You can kind of see it populate here on the 3D space. Pretty cool. I will be right back, y'all. Alright. I'll try to wrap up here shortly. Let's see, what else do I need to add for this gear stuff? I'm gonna add these. This is the mirrored one. This was the real one. So I'm gonna go back to fill. There we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, these pieces are like the same cloth area. I didn't add this one asymmetric piece, so I might add that tomorrow too, because I do like it. And I have unique information for both sides of the pants on my UVs. So I need to add those notes for tomorrow. Alright, so I want to add the fingerless gloves bit. So fingerless gloves is going to be first thing, and then I want to add this little asymmetric piece that is on the pants right here. And it's just good to have a little bit asymmetry. It's boring not to. So back to face mode, not full thing. Cool. Yeah, so I just need to remember to do that. I think that'll make it look a little bit better. Let's see here. Alright, I think, yeah, these little guys, these bolt things. I'm trying to only do things that are gonna be like metal and that kind of stuff. That's gonna be separate from the cloth. So I'm not too concerned about the other stuff. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna grab my trusty pencil over for this one. Probably try to wrap up the stream in just a little bit. I'm gonna go eat. It has been awesome having you all. This has been a really good stream. Alright, because I'm gonna make this fingerless like in the reference, I'm actually not going to paint these bottom ones. They're gonna go away. I have my new high poly. I actually need to add notes for that because I want to make sure I do it. I'm pretty sure I kind of worked on that a little bit, making it fingerless. I'll have to check my high poly, my ZBrush file. Alright. So just wrapping up these little guys. That was not intentional. Yeah, let's definitely make this fingerless. Are there any other parts? I guess these, yeah, right here. The, zipper part. Everything else is accounted for, I believe. So let's go ahead and do the zippers. That make actually turned pretty good, actually. I like that. which drawing was that? What I had the I swear it was like one of the last versions had these on there. I think what I want to do is have this match up with something else happening on, like maybe this right here. Maybe have them be like steel toe or something, or rubber boots or something like that. That could be cool. Maybe like this rubber on the bottom could also be the toe. That'd be fun. I'll consult with my concept artist about that. That'd be cool. Okay, this needs to be drawn on because it's not directly reflecting it. There we go. So this will not be purple, obviously. This is just for right now. I needed to figure this out. Let's go ahead and change that. Get a little bit closer on this one. What's going on here? Let me fix that. That was goofy. Alright, cool. Yeah, I think that would be it for the separation of clothing, metals, like gear stuff. Like this, it's true that they like the belt is separate, but I think that because it's cloth, I'm not gonna change it. Oh, looks like I need to just do this real quick though. So that's these middle buttons need to be with the gear. So I'm gonna add these real quick. I think that's all that's gear related on him. And of course, when I add that asymmetric piece right here, I'll you know, I'll add this like other circle thing here. Sweet. Alright, yeah, he's coming along. I'm gonna call it and get some dinner, y'all. So I will talk to you on the next